All right, welcome to week 2 of the class. I hope you got a smooth start to week 1 and we're able to kind of figure out the structure and the formatting of the course. As always, I'm here as a resource for you. So please, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help you however I can. I'd like to encourage you just to make sure you're staying up to date. While there's a lot of flexibility in an online course, it's also kind of easy to get behind. So if you haven't finished week 1's material, please do so. And don't get behind because it kind of compounds on itself. If you get behind, it's pretty hard to catch up in an 8-week class. So anyways, we're going to jump in. Again, this is just going to be a short video of kind of a supplementary explanation of some things you learned about in your book this week. So you learned in some of your reading this week about market research and how that helps you develop some consumer insights and consumer information that you can use in planning your marketing program. And to supplement that, I wanted to talk a little bit about a different type of marketing research that we can do. Typically, when you hear market or marketing research, you think of things like a SWOT analysis, so looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to a company. You can think about the external environment, learning about the external environment that a company operates in, a competition, learning about competition and how you are going to provide value on top of or different than your competition. Maybe also looking at industry threats, what is a threat to our company thriving in the industry. So those are all important things to look at. But one thing that the book doesn't really talk about, but I think is pretty important, is to look more on the consumer side of things. So in SWOT, external environment, competition, industry threats, this is all looking at things that don't really focus much on customers, on consumers. But I would argue that it's even more important to understand your customers, understand your consumers, than to understand all of these things external to that. And so marketing research, another just simple way of explaining marketing research on a consumer side, is understanding why people do what they do. And so this is a super interesting aspect of marketing that people don't often understand. Like we talked about last week, a lot of people think it's sales or persuasion or trying to trick people or advertising, but a huge part of marketing is psychology and understanding the why behind behavior and why do consumers behave the way they do. And so this is kind of what I want to talk about in this video to supplement what you learned in your book about market research. We're going to look at marketing research, which is more on the consumer side. So just posing the question to you, why do we want to conduct marketing research? Why do we want to conduct research on our consumers? And it's very simple. We create information to be used in marketing decisions. And even further, we are adding to the existing body of knowledge when we conduct marketing research. So right now, we know certain things about consumers, why consumers like the color blue or don't like the color red or things like that. We know things, but the more we conduct marketing research, the more we know about certain groups of customers. And the more we know about certain groups of customers, the more we can target them, the more we can appeal to them and appeal to their psychological operating, how they think, how they feel, how they respond, can all be strongly appealed to if we conduct marketing research. So we're just thinking about, okay, products that have come out that could have benefited from marketing research. Maybe if this company would have learned a little bit more about their customers, they might not have come out with these products. And there's 2 of these. So the first is the McDonald's pizza. This is one that came out, actually, they launched it, I think, in the 90s. And apparently McDonald's customers aren't interested in pizza from them. And so if they would have known a little bit more about their customers, maybe they wouldn't have spent all the money launching this pizza that ultimately failed. Another one is Colgate came out with beef lasagna. Now, this seems intuitive that a toothpaste company would not, like, customers wouldn't associate beef lasagna in the same company they buy their toothpaste from. Apparently that was not known to Colgate, and so they came out with a beef lasagna. Obviously this failed. If they would have done a little bit of marketing research about their customers, they would have known that their customers have no motivation to buy beef lasagna from the same company they buy their toothpaste from. And so just some kind of fun, lighthearted examples, but this is really important. We need to know about our customers because, like we talked about last week, if we're targeting a certain group of customers and we're wanting to give them value, we need to know about them, or else we're going to give them the wrong value. So I'm going to cover quickly 3 types of marketing research. So exploratory, descriptive, and causal. And these are kind of 3 levels going from shallow exploratory to pretty deep causal research. And each one of them has a different purpose and has a different objective that we'll talk about. So exploratory research is concerned with the what, answering what is going on. And if you want to think about it in the context of, it's just like turning on a light in a dark room. You walk into a dark room, you have no idea what's in there until you turn on the light, and then you kind of can see what's going on. And so looking at 3 examples, the first one, just looking at this girl with a little cloud, just thinking about memories. Okay, so asking questions like, are our memories accurate? Looking at that question, it's very much a what is going on? Can we rely on our memories? The second one, maybe thinking about nature. Are people inspired by nature? We don't know, but by doing exploratory research, we could find out. The third one, simply, I'm kind of in the middle of this right now. I have a 2-year-old, and we're in the middle of potty training. And so I ask you a question, is potty training a child easy? I don't know. I've never done it, but I can do some research to see if it is. And so those are just types of questions that you would want to answer with exploratory research. Turning on a light in a dark room, what's going on, very surface level, but important. If we were going to go to the next level of descriptive, this is more concerned on the who, the where, the when, the how, types of questions. So again, looking at memories, what types of memories are most commonly distorted, or when are memories most commonly distorted? So is it memories from our childhood? Is it memories from, is it negative memories? Is it positive memories? Are there types of people whose memory is most commonly distorted, females versus males, things like that. Nature, who is inspired by nature? Is it people that spend a lot of time in nature? Is it people that are rarely in nature? When are people most inspired by nature? Is it when they're in a kind of a time of depression? Is it when they are joyful? And then potty training, when is it a good time to potty train? How can I make potty training easier? Things like that. So it goes one step further from what's going on to now, who does it work for, or where does this work, or when does this happen, types of questions. And then finally, causal research, which is concerned with the why, the underlying reason for why something happens. So you can think about it, if X happens, then Y happens. So let's look at it in our examples. So with memory, it could be answering questions like, if I get less than 8 hours of sleep, will my memory be less effective? Or maybe nature, if I spend more time in nature, will I be more creative? Or if I offer my 2-year-old a reward, will she use the toilet? And so this is the most helpful type of research. It's also the hardest to do. But if we can understand the underlying why behind behavior, then we can target and market those segments super effectively. If I understand why you personally are inspired by something, or why you personally buy a certain brand over another, or why you personally value convenience over price, if I can understand why that is, then I can tailor the content that I create to market to you, to target you way more effectively. And so I hope you can see the reasons why doing research on consumers and learning their motivations and learning their beliefs and their emotions and their underlying reasons for doing things is so important. Even so, I would argue more important than researching the external factors of your company. It's because if we can understand why people do what they do, then our marketing efforts will be so much more effective. And so with that, short video this week. This was something that wasn't really covered in the material, but I felt like was very important. And we will even kind of continue this conversation as we look into more consumer behavior in the weeks to follow. But I wanted to leave you with this verse from 2 Corinthians 4:16. Therefore, we do not lose heart, though inwardly or outwardly we are wasting away. Inwardly, we are being renewed day by day. And so this is what I'm praying for y'all this week, that as the semester's kicking off and ramping up a little bit and things are getting busy, outwardly, we can be really stressed. And I pray that inwardly in your soul and your heart, you are renewed by the Lord day by day. If I can help y'all in any way in school, schoolwork, or outside, just in life, let me know. I'm happy to be here as a sounding board. I'm happy to be here just to listen. But please use me. I'm here as a resource for you. I hope y'all know how excited I am for y'all to be in my class, and I want to help you however I can. So with that, please have a great week, and I'll see y'all next week.